Earth is the home that we all take for granted. Our planet has the rare privilege in our solar system of being absolutely perfect for life. Its proximity to the sun and its unique atmosphere provide an excellent shelter for all humankind. But unfortunately, our blue planet won't last forever. Like all good things, it will come to an end. Don't worry, this shouldn't happen tomorrow. We're talking billions of years into the future, so you don't need to start saying goodbye to your loved ones quite yet. In this video, we're going to look at various theories of the Earth's lifespan and see how much time our beautiful planet has got left before it comes to an end. Before we look at this, a quick reminder to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it, and also to subscribe to Brain Impact for more videos just like this one. So before we look at what is inevitable billions of years from now, it's worth looking at the immediate threats to our planet and the fact that although these have the potential to severely damage the Earth, none of which should take it out of existence. Firstly, the man-made threats. The first and probably the most impactful in today's world is climate change. The greenhouse gases that have been emitted at a staggering rate like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide over the course of decades now are threatening to change the planet in the short term. These gases are overwhelming our oxygen-rich Earth and are becoming trapped in our atmosphere, creating a greenhouse-like effect of increasing the planet's temperature. This has led to polar ice caps melting, rising sea levels, and in the not-too-distant future, inhospitable land for crops to grow, and further in the future, an inhospitable land for us to live. In terms of a threat to Earth itself, this is pretty much non-existent for the planet. This is more a threat to human civilization. As far as the Earth is concerned, the quicker we're wiped out, the quicker the Earth can take back its environment, and nature can once again thrive to get the planet an oxygen-rich environment again. Climate change is a threat to the planet for us, but not for Earth itself. The next threat we offer is the weaponry that we've created. A huge nuclear arsenal that we've developed since the Second World War. There were approximately 3,750 active nuclear warheads and 13,890 total nuclear warheads in the world. This has been brought down since the peak of the Cold War in the 80s when there were over 70,000 active weapons in the world. Assuming the worst-case scenario with these weapons and all of them being detonated together, then the result would be catastrophic, but not world-ending. The energy released by their simultaneous detonation wouldn't destroy the Earth. It would, however, make a crater around 10 kilometers across and 2 kilometers deep. The huge volume of debris injected into the atmosphere would have far more widespread effects. This aerosol of particles would reduce the amount of heat reaching the surface from the sun, producing a so-called nuclear winter with huge environmental impact. We would be plunged into a new dark age, but these kinds of ages the Earth has suffered before, and although these could create horrible conditions on the surface itself, again, it would far from destroy the planet. Away from man, the next impending threat is from something outside of our control hitting the planet. Asteroids hitting the Earth are a very real possibility as they are a surprisingly frequent occurrence. However, most of these are far too small to do any damage. The real threat comes from a rock of an enormous size, the likes of which are thought to have wiped out the dinosaurs in the last mass extinction of life. NASA has stated the chances of an asteroid big enough to destroy a city is 0.1% in any given year. However, if one of these rocks were to be on a collision course with Earth, the likelihood is that it will hit water, with NASA stating it is 70% more likely to hit water than land, and even if it does hit land, there is a 20% chance it will hit an unpopulated area. So, it's unlikely that a large rock will threaten the human race in the next few hundred years, let alone the Earth itself. If it did strike, then it's likely that what happened to the dinosaurs will happen again. There would be a mass extinction and the planet's conditions for life would deteriorate, but again, the planet would survive and recover. Even when the Earth was hit by a rock the size of the planet shortly after its formation, it still survived. This is how the Moon is thought to have been formed, from the resulting debris that started orbiting our planet. So, if this is the case and our worst impending threats aren't likely to damage the planet anytime soon, then when is the Earth likely to stop existing? It's likely to depend on the Sun. Like with all stars, the Sun will eventually die, and like most things that emit energy, it will burn brightest just before it goes out. So, over the course of billions of years, it will increase the energy that is radiated from it, otherwise known as luminosity. In about 1 billion years, the solar luminosity will increase by 10%. This will cause a greenhouse effect similar to what we looked at earlier, but on a much more extreme scale. So extreme, in fact, that it will evaporate our oceans. Plate tectonics, which is how land masses are split on the surface on the Earth and constantly shift, will come to an end. With this as well, the whole carbon cycle that produces our atmosphere would also cease to be, putting an end to the Earth as we know it. But the Earth will still exist, it just won't look like the beautiful blue planet we see today. Moving forward to about 2 to 3 billion years, the planet's magnetic dynamo may stop altogether, leading to harmful cosmic rays to penetrate the Earth. We currently rely on the planet's magnetism to keep these at bay, but without it, then we would be at the mercy of space. Again, this would be a threat to life, but not so much the planet. The rock itself would still be okay, even if the surface is increasingly becoming less and less designed for life. Fast forward a bit further into the future, and 4 billion years from now. As the sun increases its heat at a relentless rate, it will continue to increase the temperature on our planet. This increase on the Earth's surface temperature will cause a runaway greenhouse effect. Gases are completely imbalanced to create any kind of cooling. This effect would cause enough heat on the surface of the planet to be able to completely melt it. Needless to say, at this point, any kind of life would have been completely obliterated from Earth at this stage. The Earth is now just a boiled rock that continues to orbit an ever-glowing sun and continues to do so for a few billion years more. In about 7.5 billion years' time, the sun will enter what is known as the red giant phase. This will begin once all hydrogen is exhausted in the core, and the inert helium ash that is built up there becomes unstable and collapses under its own weight. During this phase, the sun will essentially expand. Once inside the sun's atmosphere, the Earth will collide with particles of gas. Its orbit will decay, and it will spiral inward. At this point, the sun is likely to engulf our planet as it becomes larger than Earth's orbit. This would then be the end of our planet. So this is likely to be how long the Earth will last. The chances are that life will die long before the planet does, but we're talking about billions of years rather than hundreds. But eventually, the Earth will end, and it will likely be down to the lifespan of the sun. What do you think about the Earth's lifespan? How long do you think we'll survive? Let us know in the comments, and please like this video if you've enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like this one, then subscribe to Brain Impact for more. Thanks for watching.